And, you know, I'm tired of saying we got to them out. And it's just frustrating. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we still had opportunities to make plays. You know, I feel like to win these games, you know, especially at the end of the stretch, especially when you up, you know, against a team like this in the cold, you got to run the ball. So, I mean, that's man, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of dealing with it. Like every day I come here and bust. Uh, I see the guys, you know, bust, and you know, and the result is not there. And you know, for me, the last 4 years, the result hasn't been there. And quite frankly, I don't know what else to do. So, yeah.
Contracts, what have you. I think you got to consider all that stuff. And, you know, as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours, I'm sure we'll sort through some of those things, but do the right thing for the organization as we go forward.
Raider Nation, what's going on? I'm Hardcore Raider. Gonna do a reaction video to something Shannon Sharpe said. Normally, I don't like Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, but this is something that I've been talking about for a while. I think they hit the nail on the head, and this is the exact kind of stuff that I've been talking about. So I just want to do a reaction video to something that they said, and appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and let's go Raiders.
I concur.
Interesting, gentlemen. Devante Adams recently said he didn't see eye to eye with the Raiders. Yesterday, head coach Josh McDaniels told reporters he respects Adams' opinion and he has earned the right to have one as a 10-year veteran. Shannon, do you like or do you have a problem with what McDaniels said?
I don't believe what he said. Knowing him for the while that he was in Denver, he ran everything with an iron fist. Coming from the New England system, and I've talked to guys that there, they hand you the game plan and you don't question it. If you question it, it's going to be a problem. So for him to say this now, he's earned the right. He's seething, but he understands who and what Devante Adams is.
Yeah.
He is the preeminent, one of the two preeminent receivers in all of football. So you got to. So what else is he gonna say? I don't. You know, I talked to Devante, and he and I come to an understanding. Blah blah blah. Of course, he's gonna say what he said, but trust me, he's seething because in the system of New England, in which he's versed in, is that you don't question anything publicly. Now you might take it to the coach, and they're gonna shoot you down, but you don't question publicly. So he's trying to save face. Like, look, he's earned the right because he's a 10-year vet. But that's not the way they do. That's not the way he does it, and that's not the way anybody does it that come out of that system.
Okay. I concur.
All right, so I'm gonna give some insight here, essentially. So, you know, Shannon Sharpe essentially saying like it's an iron fist method of leadership, where you know, they don't have this open door policy kind of thing. You know, this is what I said last night. I've been saying for a while that it's not like coming from the Patriot way and the way they handle things, that they just let people go free reins in the media and just say whatever the hell they want. So, you know, I just wanted to play that soundbite. I think Shannon Sharpe hit the nail on the head. As much as I don't like the guy, I'm not just doing it because, like, you know, he agrees with me. But the fact is, like, he's telling you the facts. Those are the facts, dude. Exactly what he just said. You can rewind it and re-listen to it, but that's exactly the way that regime and the way they handle things. And a lot of people, I think, are being led astray when they think McDaniels comes out here and he tells everybody in Raider Nation that it's an open door policy and they care about what everybody has to say. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's a bunch of baloney. I don't believe it either for 1 second when McDaniels tried to say that. So let's play the next soundbite.
But is it possible that Josh McDaniels has finally been humbled? Because is his seat not getting hotter and hotter?
Of course.
Okay. The farther he gets away from Belichick, does he not look?
If McDaniels was humbled, you think we would have kept Darren Waller? If McDaniels was humbled, do you think we wouldn't have kept Darren Waller? Or how about Hunter Renfrow, who's going to be next? Or what about Josh Jacobs when they don't sign Josh Jacobs? Do you think McDaniels has been humbled and changed? No way. No way. These are the kind of guys they'll double down. They haven't been humbled. They haven't changed. They're not adjusting to the new style of how society is and the different type of leadership you got to have differently than an iron fist style of leadership. And I grew up old school. I believe in that iron fist style. But when you're dealing with young cats who are from a completely different generation, that style, that system will only work if you're winning, because winning does cure all. But if you're not winning and you're deconstructing the team and getting rid of like stud players that can help you win now, this is exactly what I said last night, and I've been saying, it will destroy the morale of the team. So we'll continue on.
He looks.
That is correct. And now, without Brady, Belichick is starting to get, to me, exposed.
And now, Skip, I don't know if we're going to do it because Darren Waller says.
All right. So right there, he said, without Brady, Belichick is getting exposed. This is also what I've been saying. The Patriot way has only worked with Tom Brady, meaning before Tom Brady, they had Drew Bledsoe. They went to a Super Bowl, but they lost. But this Patriot way system only worked with Tom Brady. The Patriots haven't done nothing without Tom Brady. I hope you guys realize that. Nothing. They are not a winning franchise without Tom Brady, meaning the Patriot way system does not work. It doesn't work. As much as like people don't want to admit it and hit the nail on the head, it's not going to work. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are going to feel differently than I do. But, people say the Raider way don't work. Well, the Patriot way don't work either. Any coach that ever left that organization and went to another team, they never worked out. They didn't produce anything, guys, worth a hoot. So right there. All right, we'll get on to the next part.
Because Darren Waller said something totally opposite.
I was surprised by that, but sort of pleasantly surprised, because it was the flip side. He's saying, well, they'd never listen to me there, because he's saying they value my opinion with the Giants. He just joined the Giants.
Exactly.
We had Darren Waller on
in Super Bowl, correct.
So again, the Darren Waller situation, I played that in my video last night. You guys can go back and watch it. But Darren Waller came out and he was like, hey, this regime, they value what I say. They appreciate me. We have dialogue. And the other key thing that Darren Waller said, he's like, there shouldn't be this clash between players and coaches. We should all be in unison. So Darren Waller just told you that open door policy that McDaniels says that he has and values what players say is a bunch of hogwash baloney. This is what I'm saying, dude. This guy is fake. He is fake as can be, and he just lied to everybody in Raider Nation, especially when he's trying to fluff it up and act like he really cares. So let's move on.
It's great. Okay. So I am with Josh McDaniels that he did the right thing, because you better not bite the only hand that fed you last year. And I'm going to remind everybody, Devante left Aaron Rodgers, and all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers started getting exposed, because it may just be an age thing.
He made it abundantly clear, though. Quarterback don't make me.
Okay.
Because you see, I left him and I went there. So he said Devante Adams makes Devante Adams.
Okay. And Aaron wound up 26th last year in QBR. And across the board, every stat he put up last year was a career worst from Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Without Devante.
Right.
Was any quarterback more dependent upon any single receiver?
No.
And Shannon, even Devante, when I would watch him last year with his old friend from college, Derek Carr, his body language is just like warrior language. Like, I own this game. I own this field. And I think Josh knows they're pretty much going to go as he goes.
He goes.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever said that about a receiver, but that's the way this receiver
Skip,
has impact.
He's so gifted. He's such an unbelievable route runner. The way he transitions, gets in and out of breaks. I mean, he is the preeminent route runner in all of football. When you watch him, the way he sets up, and he's always thinking, he's just not running that route. He's running the next route also, seeing what you do and your reaction to the route that he's actually running. And it'll give him an indication of what he needs to do the next time he has to run a route. So I love everything about his game. I love the way he attacks the football. I love the way he finishes. I love the way he runs after the catch. But you and I both know Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is Josh McDaniels. He wants people to think that he's softened and I've learned my lesson. They don't back. New England coaches, from what I was told when these players was there, they feel that they're Harvard and they're MIT and everybody else went to a JUCO.
Yeah.
So don't question. We put this game plan. We just spent 150 hours on this game plan. Don't question anything in it.
Okay. To Devante's credit, he tried to spin control out of everything yesterday, because he said nothing but great.
So I'll pause it right here. So when Shannon Sharpe's talking about, like, they think they're, essentially gods of the NFL, and that they know their stuff and you have to do it like their way. They're just, essentially they're gonna force a square peg in a round hole. Okay, that's essentially what that means, and I agree with that as well with Shannon. As much as like normally I don't want to agree with someone like Shannon Sharpe, but when you look at it and you're like evaluating it and things that I've said, like, they gave Hunter Renfrow the contract and then Josh McDaniels runs a 21 personnel and then they don't utilize Hunter Renfrow the right way. I mean, dude, that just tells you this hammers down the points of why I'm so frustrated with this team, and especially Coach McDaniels, who I like to call a clown, Coach McClown, because they've made decisions that are extremely questionable. And, they're the iron fist type where, they're not going to adjust their system to fit your skill set. Not like they should. Not like they should. They should be doing it a lot. They need to become a player's coach and earn the respect of their players and adjust their play calling style to what fits the best needs of the team for the team that you have right now, not deconstruct it and go through an entire rebuild, or if you want to call it a retool or whatever. If they adjusted their style, we could be in a better win now mode. But if you're like, oh, you got to do it this exact way and there's no other way, that they're just going to get rid of players and keep flushing out the studs that we have to try to get draft picks. So it doesn't make you in a win now mode. It makes you a mediocre team, the commitment to mediocrity. So let's continue on.
Things about Josh and Ziegler, the
general manager,
new GM, and
his quarterback,
and the new quarterback. Yeah. I love him to death. I don't know him, but I love him. I don't know how that.
I ain't called no pass for because he got his foot operated on.
And he took the media to task for taking some of what he said out of context. I don't believe. He also said, I'm unapologetically me. Well, he is. And he says what's on his mind, which I love about him. Well, then don't blast and condemn and blame the media for clickbait stories. He said, we don't see eye to eye on how this franchise is run.
Yeah,
right?
What he says, Skip.
Okay.
He said he came to link up with his friend and Fresno State teammate Derek Carr. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, and the quarterback is not in the Big Easy. And then they signed Jimmy G, and they said the front office thinks this is the best for us right now and put us in a position to win, to be urgent. We don't see eye to eye on what we think is best for us right now.
Okay.
I mean, so how do I? What am I missing, Skip?
All right. So right here, the main thing I just want to hammer down on this is that which point was the one, which is the real story here, right? Did Devante mess up when he said he didn't see eye to eye with the coaching staff in the front office? Was that a foul up on Devante Adams' end? Or was what he said yesterday where he's like, oh, I love these guys and these coaches and everything is great and fluffy? Or is that the real story? Because, to me, you almost can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And I love Devante Adams. I'm not trying to bash Devante Adams. Dude, to me, I'm not blaming Devante Adams for none of this. I'm glad he had the gumption to stand up and call a spade a spade. That's what I say. We have one player on the team that's calling out the coaching staff. So in my opinion, the real deal, and this is beyond Derek Carr, I don't think it's just a quarterback thing. I think he sees the team getting deconstructed and he's not happy with it. He spoke up and he said something. And I think the real story, I think like the truth, as you would put it, the truth is what he said when the reporter was in his house, that he doesn't agree with the direction the team has gone in the front office. The fake story is the damage control of what happened yesterday, where they're trying to fluff it up and sweep it under the rug. So, when I look at it from that standpoint, it's just like, what's going to be next? You know what I mean? If we don't start winning, and if they don't sign Jacobs, there's going to be more to come. You better believe it. This is just the start of this drama. So let's keep going. I got a couple more sound bites.
Media, right? Because you did speak up.
Well, you said it to the media. So what, Skip? Are they not going to take that? Hold on. This is Devante Adams saying that he and the organization don't see eye to eye on what's best for the team. So what they're supposed to do?
Then he went all the way to speaking to the reporters. If you guys are bored, go play Monopoly or some SH. Okay. Well, nobody's bored. You said it. We didn't say it. We didn't make it up.
Did he want them to kill that topic?
I don't know. Ignore it.
Yes.
Overlook it. Oh, well, it's not clickbait. You did it. You're clickbait.
If you have that kind of, if he had that kind of relationship with the head coach and the general manager, just go to the office.
Okay, well, why go public? That's a good point. I agree.
If it's an open door policy, you have that type of relationship. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Devante? How you doing? Come on in, have a seat. Coach, I don't agree with this. Hey, I mean, what's going on, Ziggs? What y'all doing? I mean, where we headed?
Yep.
This isn't what I signed up for. Okay. D card didn't work out. Okay, I get that, but was that the best that we can get? I mean, what are we going to do here?
Yep.
Are we going to run the football? Because Jimmy G works best when they can run the football.
Yep.
Jimmy G is not just a drop back and throw the ball 30, 35 times. Have they not seen Jimmy G?
Yep.
Hell, they want to get, what was that? They went to the year they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, Skip, he threw the ball like 8 times.
He did.
You ain't winning no game in Oakland throwing the ball 8 times.
Not in that division.
No.
Nope. So
All right. So that part right there, I think that was real important, because the main thing that I want to touch on when you start talking about that is if it's an open door policy, why even say shit to the ringer? If you didn't want this out in the open, right? The Monopoly playing game, right? If he's playing Monopoly, right? Not us in Raider Nation. He said how he really felt. And if it's an open door policy, why not just go to the coaching staff? And not just that, but he said, if you guys listen closely, Devante Adams, when he got interviewed yesterday, Devante Adams said, he's like, I didn't even know we were going to get Jimmy G. So wait a second. I thought the coaching staff tells you everything. You got this great relationship. Everything's hunky-dory. So you have this great relationship with the front office, but you have no idea that we're going to go get Jimmy G? Who smells a bunch of baloney? And it's a bunch of hogwash. I'm going to replay a piece of that soundbite so you can listen to it again closely, because they hit the nail on the head. Even if you don't like them, they were honest and they hit the nail on the head.
Did he want them to kill that topic?
I don't know. Ignore it?
Yes.
Overlook it? Oh, well, it's not clickbait. You did it. You're clickbait.
If you have that kind of, relationship with the head coach and the general manager, just go to the office.
Okay, well, why go public? That's a good point. I agree.
If it's an open door policy, you have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Devante? How you doing? Come on in, have a seat. Coach, I don't agree with this. Hey, I mean, what's going on, Ziggs? What y'all doing? I mean, where we headed?
Yep.
This isn't what I signed up for. Okay. D card didn't work out. Okay, I get that. But was that the best that we can get? I mean, what are we going to do here?
All right. So again, if Devante Adams didn't want this out in the open, he wouldn't have said nothing to the ringer, guys. There was no reason for Devante Adams to come out and say anything to the ringer. He knew the repercussions of what he was going to do before he did it. Otherwise, you don't say something like that. You know, this dude's a family guy, dude. He's not a drinker, partier kind of guy. It's not like he was just off the chain, and didn't know exactly what his intentions were and what he was doing. So, there's no way Devante Adams put something out in the air without knowing that it's going to create a bunch of strife and going to create this situation. So then the question becomes, why would Devante Adams do that? Why would Devante Adams put something in the ringer that he doesn't agree with the front staff and the direction of the team? Unless he knows if he goes to the team that his voice is not going to be heard, and that, he essentially got lied to from the front office that this was not a rebuild team and we were in a win now mode, and now they're all backtracking. I believe this coaching staff probably put Devante Adams on blast and said, hey, you got to correct this situation. This is too much heat for us, and they probably don't appreciate it. Like I said before, guys in New England, dude, anybody, especially like, like a certain player that won't be mentioned, number 84, that almost played for the Raiders. The staff of New England, they don't deal with this kind of stuff. They would just get rid of you. And I know the Raiders aren't going to do that with Devante Adams, maybe not this year, but it definitely put these guys in check. But again, if it's an open door policy, there's no reason to go to the ringer to put this shit out in the open. You would go directly to the coaching staff if it's an open door policy, just like they said. Even if you don't like these guys, dude, like you would go that route and not the alternative media route when you know it's going to bring a lot of heat on you and on the organization. So there's a huge disconnect, and there's a bunch of false, I'd say, media and lies going on. And it's not from Devante Adams. It's from our head coach, who's fed us all a bunch of baloney, and he's not a good leader for this team. So get into one last soundbite, and then we'll wrap it up here. So,
are they lying in the fields or something? I'm not going to pay you all this money. You somewhere else.
They are about to have a new minority owner, guy who used to play quarterback. named Brady.
Hey, as a matter of fact, you might have to bring his butt up out of retirement.
They may have to utilize it, right? I don't think you can own and play.
You have to divest. You have to divest your share of the team to do
so
that.
is Brady's ownership stake a good thing for Josh? Because obviously he had a lot of success with Josh. I'm sure he loves him. But if I know Tom Brady the way I think I do, if it's not working on the field, the owner Tom Brady will say next.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, Skip, is that the more successful you are, the more cutthroat you are, because it's bottom line.
Yeah.
Either it does or it doesn't.
Yeah.
It ain't about no friend. At that point in time, once you get to a certain level, Skip, it's not about friends.
No.
It's about this or that. And this isn't working, so it needs to be that.
That. Agreed.
So, that part right there, I agree with that. Tom Brady's a winner. If Josh McDaniels ain't cutting it, I think Tom Brady will put little birdie in Mark Davis's ear, and McDaniels will probably be gone. I know a lot of people don't want that in Raider Nation. They don't want to fire McDaniels. I don't know if I'm at a point where I'm ready to fire him. I'm at a point where this dude's got to fucking change a lot of his ways and change fast, or he's going to destroy our Raiders for the next 3 to 5 years. And I know like 90% of Raider Nation doesn't agree with me. Most people think that everything's going to be fine. Support the coach. If you don't support the coach, then you're not a Raider fan and all this baloney. That's not true. I'm supporting what's best for the team. And I'm sorry, but McDaniels is not what's best for the team. They've made critical key decisions and mistakes that are terrible for our organization to be in a win now mode. Last thing I'll wrap up is this. We have Devante Adams. If you look at his contract, we essentially have him for 2 more years. After that, the contract jumps to $44 million. So we have a 2-year window. If you look at our roster, does anybody really think that we have a win now team between this year and next year to be able to win now with Devante Adams? This staff, as well as you go back, you look at the history of the Patriots, they will cut or trade a player right before your contract hits like a key, increment amount, so they can get something for that player. That's what the Patriot way is. They will trade someone or cut them and move on to the next guy. So we have Devante Adams in a 2-year window. He probably got lied to from the staff, saying it's a win now mode, it's not a rebuild and all this stuff. And next thing you know, we're in full rebuild mode as of right now. Especially if they end up, like I've said before, they paid Derek Carr and then they cut him. We took a $5.6 million cap hit. They paid Darren Waller, cut him or traded him, right? And Darren Waller, if he's healthy, that's a win now type player. They paid Hunter Renfrow, but it's not a good scheme fit. And when Hunter Renfrow was healthy, they were not using Hunter Renfrow the right way. And now if we end up trading Hunter Renfrow after June 1st, then we could take a huge cap hit to Hunter Renfrow. And anything less than a 3rd round, if we were to trade Hunter Renfrow, is a fail. And then you have Josh Jacobs holding out. And Josh Jacobs, I feel he kind of called out the coaching staff a little bit last year, like you saw in my intro video. But if they don't pay Josh Jacobs, then, then you lose another key integral player to help the Raiders to win now. And so then, I feel like there's 3 strikes. I feel it's Derek Carr. I feel like it's Darren Waller. And the 3rd strike, I think, will be Hunter Renfrow. And then if they don't get a contract to Jacobs and Jacobs holds out, I think they'll be strike 4. If Josh Jacobs is not a Raider this year, you might as well kiss our season goodbye. What little hopes we might have to have even a mediocre or somewhat decent team, you might as well say, we're in full rebuild mode, and they'll probably tank the team to get a quarterback this next draft. So it sucks. It's sad to say, but this is what happens when you have regime changes and they tell everybody one thing, that we're going to win now and it's not a rebuild. And then next thing you know, it's a rebuild and everybody's bought into this and saying having all these excuses. Where's the accountability to this coaching staff? Where's the accountability that they're supposed to be McDaniel's supposed to be a Super Bowl winning coach, and he should be able to take a team that had a really darn good roster and, not have this kind of changeover to where the Raiders can, move up and win now. That's a Super Bowl winning coach. The standards have to be higher. They brought him in to win now, and that's not what's going on. And you have players like Devante Adams that's upset, and he called him out. He only backtracked to try to cover his tracks because it created so much strife. So Curious on your guys' opinions. I normally never agree with Shannon Sharpe, but he hit the nail on the head. Even if I don't like the guy, he hit the facts, and that's what I'm focusing on is the facts. It's not hate about amongst our coach. It's the reality of the situation of me being real and keeping it real, you know. And like I said when I did my draft reaction, that I will remember this moment. I will never forget this moment. So that's all I got to say. I'm Hardcore Raider. There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation. Hardcore Raider out.